was Hillary Clinton's Secret Service name. If you Google Evergreen, you're going to see thousands of pictures of these containers on boats. Some of those boats are owned by Paul Martin, our former Prime Minister. Inside those containers, children. There's 40,000 children's foundations in Canada. Now, these containers have been coming and going from Canada. Paul Martin knew about it. John Chrétien knew about it. Stephen Harper knew about it. Peter MacKay knew about it. Justin Trudeau knew about it. And that fat-ass Kim Campbell knew about it. And they let it happen. This is what's going on. We're shut down for a virus while the Marines are rescuing millions of children from the underground. That's not all. There's millions of adults in the underground. That's not all. There's millions of children in Canada that are being trafficked currently by these gay lawyers and CAS agencies across Canada. You're going to hear about it in the States first, but you're going to wake up in a week or so, and a lot of people are going to be gone. And when they're gone, you're going to know why. Some people think this could possibly be a big UN takeover, but if it is, well, there's 300 million Americans that aren't going to agree with that. So, I want you all to just sit back and relax, enjoy some of my videos, and get over to Paulie's channel and check out her videos, and X22 and SGT Report, Deception Bites, Droppy Meat. There's lots of places to go get truth. Go get it. Educate everybody. You got a week, you should be doing 3 things. Loving your family, researching and educating your friends, and making love. The world's going to change, folks. We're going to rescue all the children. Maybe I'll find mine.
One of the most overlooked aspects of human trafficking is the method of transportation. How are they moving these people all around the world? I believe it's through container ships. I'm currently standing on a container ship with roughly 10,000 containers. Maybe 5 to 10% of the cargo that comes in and out of the United States is scanned, x-rayed, and looked at by CBP. Any one of these containers you see on this ship could have about 75 people in it. We know, I've talked to CBP agents before, they have found containers with advanced life support systems, food and supplies for these people to live in these containers for a substantial amount of time while they move from port to port. I believe it's a huge problem. I honestly believe, I have seen with my own eyes, I have seen families, I have seen children, we've seen stowaways, and it really makes you wonder, is this how they're moving along? Right here.
We also have another major issue going on in our ports right now, and I just wanted to speak on it, because I don't think a lot of people understand why they're striking. One of the major reasons I've been seeing coming out of videos and reports from people talking about it is that they get tired of hearing children screaming inside the containers. Yeah, you heard that right. The workers are striking, and one of the main reasons is they're tired of hearing humans being shipped over and screaming and banging on the inside of the shipping containers to get out. I understand we have a serious human trafficking issue in this country. I just did not think it was this bad. Never once did it cross my mind we need to be checking shipping containers for people. Can you imagine how long somebody's been inside of one of those, depending on how long they were waiting to dock? No heat, no air, nothing. I pray for the workers of the ports because I don't think they signed up to deal with people. Pretty sure they were just supposed to move cargo and goods. This is crazy, y'all.
You know. Do you know what's going on in Georgia? With the explosion and the fires and the air.
I really can make this shit up right here in Savannah, Georgia right now, guys. That's the Evergreen everything boat. Guys, I really can't make this shit up right now.
This guy.
They got a bunch of people in those. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Guys. Everything is in there, guys. Everything is in there, guys. Evergreen. They got all the bodies in there. All the fucking bodies is in there, guys. Check the containers. Check the containers. They got people in there. Fuck!
For the last 10, 20 years, housing stock that used to be here is down. It's gone.
Because what we have here is something far worse. You know, in 1995, I wrote a book called Fighting Terrorism, and I said that if we don't arrest the tide of Islamic militant terrorism, militant Islamic terrorism, then the next thing that will be is not a car bomb in the World Trade Center, but a nuclear bomb. Now, it wasn't a nuclear bomb. It was a 350-ton conventional bomb.
So what do you do when you beat the insurance companies in court and they still won't pay? A new governor was just elected. Elliot Spitzer, an old friend who I knew well. And I said, Elliot, if you don't help me, I'll never collect from the insurance companies. And guess what? He listened, and he said, you know what? You're entitled. I'm going to get you the money. And in 6 months, he got me the $4.5 billion. So it's going to be interesting, because once we get finished with Tower 3, we're then going to proceed to Tower 2. And Tower 2, Tower 2 is probably going to take about $2.4 billion.
Well, the bottom line of the Israeli nuclear program is the so-called Samson option. This is a form of extreme nuclear blackmail. If the world doesn't go along with Israel, especially in a situation where Israel felt that its existence as an apartheid Jewish state and crime base for the world's biggest banksters is ever threatened, then it will blow up the capitals of Europe as well as the Middle East, and implicitly they're also threatening the United States. Though they may not have missiles that can reach the United States, as I said, there are reports in the intelligence community that, in fact, Israel has planted miniature nuclear weapons in American cities.
And this video, now looking at the videos we've seen come out of Beirut, it looks strikingly similar in the aftermath. See this?
7 months ago?
7 months ago. And what caught that was the shockwave was what shocked me. I haven't seen a shockwave like that before. It's very distinctive.
Until today.
It's very distinctive.
Yeah, it's the same shape. Everything looks identical.
It looks like an air bubble coming up and then dissipating. That's exactly what we saw in Beirut.
Like a low-yield nuclear blast.
Yes, and the Israelis and Americans refer to this as bunker busters. The Moab could be considered the most powerful bunker buster we have.
البداية يا خطرة انفجار نووي. من شي دقيقة صار في إطلاق بالأحرى طيارة عملت خارتين. نحن بمرفأ بيروت تأذينا منه. صار هلا طيارة عملت خارة، رجعت طيارة تانية عملت خارة تانية ببيروت. نحن تأذينا منه صراحة. طيارة ضربت ببيروت والمرفأ اتضرر. ما بعرف التفاصيل شو صايرة، ما بعرف بالضبط.
او قصف او طلع شيء جديد انفجار، بس في صوت طيران شكلهم ضاربين شيء شحنه. اوه وضر شوي قنبله نوويه، بيطلع صوت كثير قوي، انتبهوا في شوك ويف قويه، انتبهوا.
This video, now looking at the videos we've seen come out of Beirut, it looks strikingly similar in the aftermath. See this?
7 months ago?
7 months ago. And what caught that was the shockwave was what shocked me. I haven't seen a shockwave like that before. It's very distinctive.
Until today.
Until today. It's very distinctive.
It's the same shape. Everything looks identical.
It looks like an air bubble coming up and then dissipating. That's exactly what we saw in Beirut.
Like a low-yield nuclear blast.
Yes, and the Israelis and Americans refer to this as bunker busters. Moab could be considered the most powerful bunker buster.
First, there was a fire, a huge column of smoke rising from Beirut's port. Then, a massive explosion. The force of the blast was so strong, its shockwaves blew out glass and tore buildings across the city, ripping balconies off onto the street.
But you're close.
My news, something.
Okay, people think, what did they report? What did the news report? Yeah. Fireworks plant caught on fire too close to a fertilizer storage plant.
2,700 tons of ammonium nitrate.
Okay, all right.
That's what they claim.
Yeah. Okay, the bullshit meter's really deep on that one. What happened is, this.
See, when we remove the
I'm not going to write the name down here. These are 3 cargo container companies that we've identified as child trafficking companies. One is owned by Hillary Rodham Clinton's foundation. One is owned by Paul Pelosi, Nancy's husband. Okay, so we went into Pier 45 in San Francisco. We burned it to the ground.
When was this?
couple months ago. Okay. In Beirut, in Hong Kong, at the fires in Brussels at the World Trade Center, several other big major fires that have happened in the last couple of weeks. We've been taking out Evergreen all over the world.
Nice.
In Beirut,
It's like a big
cargo container company, shipping containers. Okay, we've been taking Evergreen out all over the world. So in Beirut, since we train Mossad, Israeli military industries, we set them into the tunnels to rescue all the children under about 2.5 square block area. They even had an underground hospital, underground dormitory, underground everything. Lots of children under there. And we sent them in, and they came out, and they lit the place on fire, and that's why you saw smoke long before the missiles hit. It was on fire. It's pretty hard to burn down concrete and steel. It's real hard to burn it. So anyway, they spread some stuff around in there, and they lit it on fire to cause a smoke screen. Because if you remember how that sat, you had that kind of island, and you had 3 buildings like this, and then you had a big glass building like this, and most of the town is over here. This building was designed to stop the blast, right? What's that? No, these are concrete structures. Okay, they're filled with Evergreen shipping containers, and underneath is child trafficking tunnels all over underneath that lead clear into the city, mainly led into this building, so the trucks can back up over here and pick them up. Okay. So they went in there, they rescued the kids, they set the building on fire. And then our military estimates engineering. Depending on the width of the concrete wall, how much steel reinforcement rebar they think is inside the wall, how many shipping containers around the outside of the wall, they try and estimate what size bomb to throw in there to take that out. They don't care if this building hits, they're trafficking them out of that building too. So they didn't care if that one blew up either. But this is what they were after. So they estimated what size bomb. And they happened to, in this case, use a Moab. A mother of all bombs. Well, in between the time intelligence went in and located the kids and planned the mission, and the mission took place, some containers had been moved. A couple other things they underestimated is the construction quality of those buildings. Over in the Middle East, not always is a building built up to our standards. So it had a little less rebar, a little wider spaced, a little more porous concrete. And so when that bomb went in, it blew a little bit harder than they expected it to. Nevertheless, it did its job, and it left a crater that opened up the tunnels. And then the news media could look down in there and go, there's a whole bunch of tunnels. Now they crawl under the tunnels, they find the dormitories, they find the medical facilities, they find all this stuff, and they'll know exactly why. So the object of the game is this. It's to not only destroy it, but it's to expose it.
They know that there's a labyrinth of subterranean chambers here. They've discovered the opening of just one of them. And if you come a bit closer, you can see the top of what looks like the ceiling of one. And that's what is keeping the hopes of relatives alive, that somehow their loved ones have made it to that shelter.
Just keep watching this area here. Yeah, watch the fire and the molten metal spewing off as the bridge collapses. Watch, goes along. Watch. See that? Look, little explosions. Okay, why is a bridge that's been hit by a ship over there having explosions over here? Keep watching. Let's keep watching it. Look, bang, explosion, explosion, both at the top and the bottom, explosion, explosion again. More smoke coming out of it. Look, on fire as it's going down. There we go, right there, on fire. Ready? Look, here's the smoke in the air here. Keep watching. Look, watch it again. Watch. Watch here. Look, fire, 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 fire. See? Steam as it hits the water. Funny, look, more fire, loads of fire. They demolished the bridge, people. Wake the fuck up. Distraction story again.
So real quick, I'm going to show you, I just showed a video, if you go back, a boat crashed here, but you can see dynamite being let off at every single point. I'm going to do it again. So we have here, charges, boom.
Vessels hit for the middle.
On the copy before this, you can clearly see it happened 6 or 7 times. I went right down the line showing each and every fire point. But my point to this video is let's not get distracted by this here. Let's keep these videos going like they'd like us to cover, but make sure you put Diddy in it. P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, sex trafficking. Keep hitting those fucking keywords all day, people. Don't let up. They want to play dumb with these stories to distract us. We're going to keep on the subject with their videos, tagging it Diddy. Let's go.
Fast, sharp right. Fast, sharp right. Sharp right. Sharp right. Listen. Sammy, you have to listen to my call, Sammy. Please, I beg you. Fast, medium right. You have to turn the wheel, Sammy. 40, fast, medium left. 50, downhill, triple caution. Triple caution, stay center. Triple caution, stay center. Whoa. Concentrate, Sammy, please. Medium left, long. Turn in. Medium left. Medium left, nice and easy. Turn. Throttle. Fast, medium left, long. In. Medium right, concentrate. Medium left.
even a dust storm likely pushed Evergreen's ship, the Ever Given, off its path. So much so that the ship became wedged sideways across the Suez Canal, wall to wall. Tugboats and cranes are trying to free it, but the ship is massive and heavy. It holds 20,000 shipping containers.
An explosion at the Port of Long Beach, and then military choppers swarm in. It's actually all part of a week of Special Forces training for Army pilots across Southern California. CBS 2's Chris Holmstrom is live in Long Beach with more on tonight's big exercise. Chris.
Jeff, these military choppers have been flying in and out of this area for the past hour. We've also heard several explosions. In fact, I just heard one just a couple of minutes ago, and it's almost like a scene out of a war movie. Loud explosions as Army choppers land near this Port of Long Beach building. Two smaller ones and a Black Hawk. All three in and out in a matter of moments. While details of the military drills are kept secret, we know the soldiers will enter the building where they will work out different scenarios. LAPD also out here providing security, but we wanted to know why. Why is the Army doing these trainings in the LA area?
Army really appreciates being able to come into this urban environment and put some of their practices to test in environments that they've never run through before.
It's the third day of military drills. This video shows low-flying choppers and loud explosions in downtown LA. There was also a training session inside one of these buildings. As you can imagine, these military exercises are catching a lot of people off guard. But the military wants people to know they could hear sounds of aircraft and weapon simulation. And these training sessions are expected to last throughout the week. Reporting live from Long Beach, I'm Chris Holmstrom, CBS 2 News.
fucking kidding me right now? Oh my god. Oh shit.
everybody be praying for those children and for the medical people that are taking care of all this. So, but it's in Central Park as far as I know, and these tunnels from the maps that
Dude, I know somebody personally whose girlfriend is a nurse and knows other nurses, and she's in contact with one of the nurses in Central Park, and they